My name is James. I'm 72 years old, and I still remember the exact moment I knew something had to change. It was a Tuesday. Nothing special about it, just an ordinary afternoon at the grocery store. I had a short list, a few things to grab, but by the third aisle, my legs felt like lead. Not tired, heavy, dragging behind me like they weren't part of my body anymore. I remember standing there, next to the freezer section, pretending to read a label. But really, I just needed to catch my breath, because my legs wouldn't let me keep going. That wasn't the first time I felt weak, but it was the first time I felt afraid. Afraid that something deeper was wrong. Afraid I was losing my legs, and no one told me why. That day, I drove home in silence. No music, no talk radio, just me, and a voice in my head asking, what if this is it? What if I'm just getting old, and there's nothing I can do? But something about that thought didn't sit right, because deep down, I knew I hadn't done anything to help my legs. I'd just assumed the weakness was part of the deal. A number on a birthday cake. But the truth is, it wasn't age. Not completely. It was a habit, one I never thought was hurting me. And when I finally gave it up, I got something back I never thought I'd feel again. Strength, freedom, confidence. And that's why I'm telling you this today. If you've ever had a moment like that, where your legs didn't feel like your own, comment your age and tell us what happened. We read every story, and you're not alone. Looking back, the signs were there. They didn't come all at once. They crept in, little things I brushed off because, well, I was 70. And that's what everyone says, right? That's just part of aging. But they weren't just aging. It started with cramps at night. I'd wake up at 2 a.m. with my calf muscles clenched tight, like someone was twisting a wrench under the skin. I'd sit up in bed, rub them out, maybe walk around a bit, and go back to sleep. At first, it was once a week, then twice, then almost every night. Then came the numbness. I'd be sitting on the couch watching a ball game, and I'd realize I hadn't moved my foot in 20 minutes because I couldn't feel it. Just a strange tingle, like it had fallen asleep and forgotten to wake up. There were days my feet felt cold even in thick socks, and other days when I'd stand up too fast and feel like I was floating. Unsteady, dizzy, weak. Still, I didn't do anything about it. I didn't ask questions. I didn't see a doctor. I just told myself it was the weather, or bad sleep, or getting older. But deep down I knew something wasn't right. The worst part? It started to change the way I moved. I stopped walking as far. I held the railing going down the stairs, even when I didn't need to. I stopped taking the long route through the park with my wife. Because every day, I trusted my legs a little less. And when you stop trusting your legs, you start shrinking your life without realizing it. That's what scared me most. Not just the pain, but what it meant. Because losing your legs isn't just about walking. It's about freedom. And I wasn't ready to give that up. Have you noticed any of these signs too? Cramps, cold feet, numbness? Let me know in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel seen. It took me years to figure it out. And when I finally did, I felt foolish. Because the thing that was quietly draining my legs, every single day, was something I thought was harmless. Even healthy. For me, it was orange juice. Every morning, for over 40 years, I started my day the same way. 2 slices of toast. 1 glass of orange juice. Sometimes cold cereal. Sometimes eggs. But the juice, always the juice. It felt right. It was part of my routine. And we've all heard it. Vitamin C. Heart healthy. Great way to start the day. But what I didn't realize was that 1 glass of juice was flooding my system with sugar. Fructose. Acid. Insulin spikes. And for someone my age, someone already struggling with circulation and joint inflammation, it was doing the exact opposite of what I thought. Instead of giving me energy, it was sending my blood sugar on a roller coaster. Instead of hydrating me, it was making my legs feel heavier, more swollen, more stiff. And it wasn't just orange juice. It was the flavored yogurts, the sweetened coffee creamers, the healthy granola bars I'd snack on mid-morning. All of it, loaded with hidden sugars and processed ingredients. that fed inflammation in my legs and slowly choked my circulation without me knowing. You want to know the truth? I wasn't getting old. I was getting inflamed. I finally saw a nutritionist after a scary dizzy spell one morning. She looked at my food log and didn't flinch. She just said, "You're starting your engine with the wrong fuel." And that hit me hard, because I was trying to be healthy, but I was feeding the very symptoms that scared me. Be honest, are you still starting your day with sugary drinks or snacks? Type 1 if yes, 0 if you've already made the change. No judgment, just awareness. I didn't make the change overnight. I wish I could tell you I poured that last glass of juice and never looked back. But the truth is it was hard. Much harder than I expected. Because when something's been part of your life for 40 years, it doesn't feel like a habit. It feels like you. I was used to the sweetness. That little sugar hit that perked me up in the morning. The comfort of routine. The taste that reminded me of being younger. So when I tried to stop, my body pushed back. The first few mornings I felt sluggish. My breakfast felt empty, and my brain kept whispering, "Just one more day. One glass won't hurt." But I had that moment from the grocery store burned into my memory. That heaviness in my legs. That fear. And I told myself, I've done harder things than this. So I replaced the juice with warm lemon water. Just half a lemon squeezed into a mug of warm water, first thing after I woke up. It felt weird at first. Bland. Too plain. But after a week, something shifted. My stomach felt calmer. I didn't crash at 10 a.m. like I used to. My legs didn't feel swollen by mid-afternoon. The more I leaned into better choices, the easier it got. I swapped my sweetened yogurts for plain Greek yogurt with berries. I stopped buying granola bars and started carrying a little bag of unsalted almonds in my pocket. I didn't count calories. I didn't starve. I just removed the things that were quietly hurting me and replaced them with things that helped. And let me tell you something. I started to trust my legs again. Not just physically, but emotionally. I wasn't scared to go up the stairs. I wasn't hesitating before I stood up. And that gave me more than mobility. It gave me confidence. But I wouldn't have gotten there if I hadn't faced the hardest part. Letting go of what was familiar. Still watching? That tells me you're serious about your health. Like this video if you've ever struggled to change a habit, and comment, "I'm ready to make the switch if today's your day." The change didn't happen all at once. It wasn't like I woke up one day and everything was perfect. No fireworks. No sudden strength. Just little wins. The first time I noticed it, I was walking from the back of the parking lot to the pharmacy entrance. It was a longer walk than usual. I parked far away without thinking. And halfway to the door, I stopped and thought to myself, wait a second. I'm not dragging my feet. There was no heaviness. No pins and needles. No silent counting in my head to keep myself moving. Just me walking. It felt normal. And after months of discomfort and doubt, normal felt like a miracle. Another time, I was carrying groceries up the stairs. I reached the top and realized I hadn't paused halfway. That's when it really hit me. I turned around, looked down the steps, and I smiled, because I hadn't felt that strong in years. And it wasn't just my legs. It was my posture, my pace, my presence. I stopped holding on to chairs when I stood up. I stopped avoiding long walks with my wife. And for the first time in a long time, I felt capable. One afternoon, my daughter came by with the grandkids. She looked at me and said, "Dad, are you standing taller?" I laughed and told her, "I'm standing stronger." And that's the moment I knew. I hadn't just gotten my legs back. I'd gotten a part of my life back. If this story is hitting home, share it with someone who needs a little hope. And comment below, what's your small victory this week? We celebrate every one. These days, I don't chase perfection. I focus on consistency. Because the truth is, your legs don't care about what you do once. They care about what you do every day. So here's what my routine looks like now. Simple, repeatable, and real. I start my morning the same way, every day. Warm lemon water. It wakes up my system without flooding it with sugar. It's not flashy, but it works. Then I do a few slow stretches in bed before I stand. Nothing fancy. Ankle rolls. Knee bends. I loosen up before gravity gets involved. After that, I take a short 15-minute walk. Around the block. Sometimes in the backyard. Rain or shine, I move. It keeps my blood flowing and reminds my legs that I trust them. For breakfast, I keep it simple. Protein and fiber. Usually boiled eggs, a little fruit, maybe oats with almond butter. No more sugary cereals or juices. Throughout the day, I make sure to get up every hour. Even if I'm reading or watching a show. I stand. I stretch. I walk a lap around the house. And in the evenings, before bed, I massage my calves for a minute or two. Sometimes with lotion. Sometimes just with my hands. It's not just about comfort. It's a reminder to my body. I'm paying attention to you now. I also wear compression socks if I'll be sitting for long. They help with circulation, especially during travel or rest days. And here's something I didn't expect to matter as much as it does. I stay hydrated. Not soda. Not sweet tea. Just clean water, herbal teas, and maybe some cucumber slices thrown in. That's it. No gym membership. No prescription. No complicated schedule. Just simple habits I can repeat every day. Because the goal isn't to be impressive. It's to stay independent. If you're thinking, I could do that, then start tomorrow. Comment below with one habit you'll try, and tell us what helps you keep going. We read and respond to every message. If you're over 60 or 70, and you're watching this, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not broken. You are not too old. And it is not too late to feel strong again. I used to believe that slowing down was just part of the deal. That weak legs and stiff mornings were my new normal. And that the best I could do was manage it. But that's not true. The body changes, yes. But it also responds. It listens. And if you start treating it with care, with consistency, it can surprise you. You don't need 100 changes. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start with one thing you can stick with. And then show up for yourself. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a fitness coach. I'm a 72-year-old man who got tired of feeling like a passenger in his own body. So I made some changes. And I got my legs back. But more than that, I got my hope back. And if you've been waking up tired, avoiding stairs, sitting out the long walks, or saying, maybe next time too often, I want you to try again. I want you to remember that your strength isn't behind you. It's waiting right in front of you. It starts with a better choice, then a better morning, and slowly a better life. Can you relate to James's story? Share your own experience in the comments. Your voice might be the exact one another person needs to hear today. So that's my story. Not dramatic, not perfect, but real. I didn't take a magic pill. I didn't join a program. I just listened to my body and made the decision to stop ignoring the signs. Getting my legs back wasn't about going backwards. It was about reclaiming what was still possible. And now, I get up without fear. I walk without hesitation. I live with more confidence than I had even 10 years ago. And I want that for you too. Because whether you're 62, 72, or even 82, you're not too far gone. There is still strength inside you. It just needs the right chance to show up. But don't just take my word for it. Start with one thing today. Swap out one habit. Take that first step, even if it's just a slow one across the living room. And if you need someone cheering you on, I'm right here. So is everyone in this community. You are not alone. If you felt connected to this story, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because we share honest stories and helpful tips like this every single day. And don't leave without leaving a comment. Tell us your name, your age, where you're watching from, and what your body has been trying to tell you lately. We read every single one. In the next episode, we're sharing a daily stretch routine that helped me sleep deeper and walk taller. Trust me, you won't want to miss that.